It's something cosmic, something Carl Jung called synchronicity, a meaningful collision of your inner world with the outer one, a sign that the universe is trying to tell you something big. In this video, we're diving into the profound signs the universe sends when it wants you to be with someone, not just anyone, but a soul connection that can awaken you, challenge you, and change your life forever. From quiet whispers and eerie coincidences to mirrors of your deepest self, these signs aren't random, they're written in the stars. So, if you've ever felt a connection that hit you too hard, too fast, or too deep, stay with me. Let's decode the universe's whispers together, because your soul might just be waiting for this message. Chapter 1. The quiet whisper of the universe. Let's start with the truth. The universe doesn't scream, it whispers. When it wants you to be with someone, it doesn't send fireworks or a dramatic Hollywood moment. Instead, it sends a quiet, unshakable feeling that makes you pause and wonder, what just happened? Carl Jung, the brilliant mind behind analytical psychology, called this synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that feels like the universe is tapping you on the shoulder, saying, pay attention, this matters. And the first sign, it's not loud, it's a stillness, a moment of calm that cuts through the chaos of your life like a soft breeze on a restless day. Picture this. You're at a crowded airport, rushing to catch a flight. Your mind is racing deadlines, emails, a million things to do. Then, out of nowhere, you lock eyes with someone across the terminal. The world slows down. The noise of announcements, rolling suitcases, and chatter fades into a distant hum. For a split second, it's just you and them. You don't know their name. You've never seen them before. But there's this unexplainable pull, like your soul recognizes theirs. It's not about their looks or what they're wearing. It's the energy. It feels familiar, like a memory you can't place. Like you've been waiting for this exact moment without even knowing it. That's the universe whispering. That's the first sign, but it doesn't stop there. The universe has a way of making sure you're listening, and that's where synchronicity comes in. Have you ever thought of someone out of the blue, and right at that moment, your phone lights up with a text from them? Not hours later, not the next day, but right then, as if the universe overheard your thoughts and decided to play matchmaker. Or maybe you're walking down the street, lost in thought about this person, and a song plays through your earbuds, a song that feels like it's written just for you and them. You get goosebumps because the lyrics hit too close to home. These aren't random coincidences, they're synchronicities, moments where the outer world aligns with your inner world in a way that defies logic. Let me share a real story. A friend of mine, Sarah, kept noticing the same guy at her local coffee shop. She didn't think much of it at first, just another regular. But one day, as she was journaling about feeling lost in life, she looked up, and there he was, sitting across from her, reading a book by Carl Jung. She felt that stillness, that unexplainable calm we talked about. Later that week, she thought of him while stuck in traffic, and her phone buzzed with a message from a friend saying, "Hey, I just met this guy you'd love." Guess who it was? The same guy from the coffee shop. They started talking, and it turned out they had crossed paths multiple times before, without realizing it, like the universe had been trying to get their attention for months. That's synchronicity at work. So, what do you do when you feel this whisper? This cosmic nudge? First, don't ignore it. That stillness, those eerie coincidences, they're not accidents. They're invitations. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." When the universe sends these signs, it's asking you to trust your intuition. Pay attention to how you feel, not what you think you should feel. Journal about it. Write down the moment, the synchronicity, the energy. Ask yourself, does this feel like more than a coincidence? Does this person stir something in me I can't explain? Because when the universe whispers, it's not just introducing you to someone, it's introducing you to a deeper part of yourself. Here's a question for you. Have you ever felt this kind of stillness or noticed a synchronicity that made you pause? Maybe it was a chance encounter or a perfectly timed message. Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Let's keep exploring, because the universe has more to say. Chapter 2. They're a mirror to your soul. When the universe sends someone into your life, they're not just a person, they're a mirror. Not the kind that flatters your ego, but the kind that reflects your deepest truths, your hidden wounds, and the parts of you you've buried for years. Carl Jung called this projection, a powerful idea in psychology where we see in others what we can't yet see in ourselves. And when this person walks into your life, they don't just spark attraction, they spark transformation. They show you in ways you've never seen before. Here's what this looks like. You meet someone, and suddenly, you're feeling things you can't explain. Maybe they're fiercely independent, and it draws you in, but it also makes you uneasy. Deep down, you realize it's because you've always felt trapped, craving that same freedom they embody. Or maybe they're emotionally calm, and it stirs a quiet envy in you because your inner world has been chaos for as long as you can remember. This isn't just about them, it's about what they awaken in you. They become a mirror, reflecting not just your light, but your shadow, the parts of yourself you've hidden, like insecurities, fears, or even desires you've never dared to voice. Let me share a story. My friend Emily met a guy named Mark at a work event. Mark was confident, outspoken, and unapologetically himself. Emily was instantly drawn to him. But she also felt a strange tension. Every time Mark spoke up in a meeting, she'd feel a pang of irritation, and she couldn't figure out why. One night, while journaling, it hit her. Mark's confidence was shining a light on her own insecurity. She'd always played small, afraid of being seen, because growing up, her parents dismissed her ideas, making her feel like her voice didn't matter. Mark wasn't the problem, he was the mirror. Through him, Emily saw her fear of being judged, her longing to be heard, and her unhealed wounds from childhood. That realization wasn't easy, but it was the push she needed to start speaking up for herself, to finally step into her own power. This is what soul connections do. They don't just make you feel good, they make you feel everything. Suddenly, you're face to face with emotions you've suppressed for years. Maybe you feel jealous, even though you've always prided yourself on being secure. Maybe you feel needy, despite building your identity on independence. Or maybe you're terrified of losing them, because their distance reminds you of someone who once abandoned you. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances if there is any reaction. Both are transformed. When the universe sends this person, they don't just show up to love you, they show up to transform you. They stir your shadow, the unconscious parts of you that hold your fears, your shame, your unhealed pain. So, how do you navigate this? First, don't run from the discomfort. When this person triggers something in you, whether it's jealousy, fear, or longing, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what is this feeling really about? Is it about them? Or is it about me? Journal your thoughts. Dive deeper. And be honest with yourself. If they make you feel insecure, Explore what part of you feels unworthy. And where did that start? If they make you feel needy, ask yourself what you're truly craving. Maybe it's not their attention, but the love you've denied yourself. Second, see this as an opportunity. This person isn't here to hurt you. They're here to help you grow. Use their mirror to face your shadow, to heal what's been buried. Start small, practice self-compassion. Talk to a trusted friend, or even seek therapy if you're ready. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be whole. Here's a question for you. Has someone ever walked into your life and made you feel emotions you didn't expect, like jealousy, insecurity, or a longing you couldn't explain? What did they show you about yourself? Share your story in the comments. I'm here to listen. Let's keep going, because the universe isn't done with its signs yet. Chapter 3. The pain that awakens you. Here's a hard truth. When the universe sends someone truly meant for your soul, it won't always feel like a fairy tale. Sometimes, it feels like fire, like everything inside you is breaking apart. But that pain, it's not a sign something's wrong. It's a sign something's finally going deep. Carl Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." When this person enters your life, they don't just bring joy, they bring clarity. And clarity can hurt, because it forces you to face the wounds you've been hiding from for years. Let's break this down. You meet someone, and at first, it's magical. Their presence lights up your world. But then, something shifts. Maybe they're emotionally distant, and it triggers a deep fear of abandonment you didn't even know you had. Or maybe their confidence makes you feel small, exposing insecurities you thought you'd buried. Suddenly, you're not just falling for them, you're falling into your unhealed self. The walls you've built around your heart start to crack. The coping mechanisms you called strength, they stop working. Because real soul connections don't play by your ego's rules. They show up to make you whole. And to do that, they have to break you open first. Here's a real story to show you what I mean. My friend Alex had always been the strong one, the guy who never let anyone see him vulnerable. Then he met Lena, someone who saw right through his tough exterior. At first, their connection was electric. But soon, Lena's emotional honesty started to unnerve him. She'd ask questions like, "Why do you always push me away when I get too close?" Alex would brush it off. But inside, her words, stumm. They reminded him of his childhood, when his dad would shut him out every time he showed weakness. Lena's openness forced Alex to see his own fear of vulnerability, a fear he'd buried so deep he didn't even know it was there. It hurt. He felt raw, exposed, like everything he'd built to protect himself was crumbling. But that pain became his teacher. Through Lena, Alex started to journal, to talk about his past, to let himself feel. He didn't just grow closer to her, he grew closer to himself. This is the third sign. The pain that comes with a soul connection is proof of its depth. This person doesn't just touch your heart, they touch your wounds. Maybe their silence reminds you of being ignored as a kid. Maybe their strength makes you face your own lack of self-worth. But that doesn't mean they're wrong for you, it means they're your teacher. Every trigger they awaken is an invitation to heal, to grow, to evolve. Carl Jung believed that real transformation happens when we face our darkness, not when we run from it. This person isn't here to hurt you. They're here to help you see what needs healing. So, how do you turn this pain into growth? First, don't fight it. When you feel that sting, whether it's insecurity, fear, or sadness, sit with it. Name the emotion "I feel unworthy," because they're so confident. Then trace it back. Where did this start? Maybe it's a memory from school, when you were teased for being different. Second, take action to heal. Start by writing about your feelings. Journaling can help you process what's coming up. If the pain feels too big, talk to a friend or a therapist who can guide you. And most importantly, be gentle with yourself. Healing isn't about fixing yourself overnight. It's about showing up for yourself. Day by day, this person might not take the pain away, but they'll show you how to transform it into strength. Here's a question for you. Has someone ever brought up a pain you didn't expect, like a fear of rejection or a hidden insecurity? How did it change you? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you turned pain into growth. Let's keep going, because the universe has one more sign to reveal. Chapter 4. Destined, but not always forever. Not every soul the universe sends your way is meant to stay forever, and that's okay. Sometimes, the most profound connections are the ones that don't last, but they always leave you changed. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." When the universe brings someone into your life, they might not fit into your idea of happily ever after, but they're here for a reason: to awaken you, to shift you, to set something in motion. And here's the final sign. These people come when you're ready, not when you're desperate. And their role isn't always to stay, but to guide you closer to your truest self. Let's unpack this. We've all been taught to chase forever. Movies, songs, and stories tell us love should last a lifetime. But what if the universe has a different plan? Sometimes, someone walks into your life like a storm, loud, powerful, unforgettable, and then they leave. Other times, they arrive like a soft breeze, gentle and healing, but still, they don't stay. Their departure might break your heart, but it doesn't mean the connection wasn't real. It means their purpose was fulfilled. They came to crack you open, to show you a part of yourself you couldn't see, to push you toward growth that comfort never could. And here's the key: the universe sends these people when you're aligned, not when you're clinging to someone to fill your emptiness. Take my friend Mia, for example. She met Daniel during a tough time. She'd just moved to a new city, feeling lost and lonely. Daniel was warm, funny, and seemed to understand her in ways no one else did. They'd spend hours talking about their dreams, fears, and everything in between. For the first time in years, Mia felt seen. But after a few months, Daniel got a job offer in another country and decided to take it. Mia was devastated. She thought he was the one. But as time passed, she realized something: Daniel's presence had taught her how to open up again. Before him, she'd closed herself off after a bad breakup, afraid of being hurt. Daniel didn't stay, but he left her with a gift. He showed her she was capable of connection, of vulnerability, of love. His leaving forced her to find that love within herself, and a year later, she was thriving, more confident and whole than ever. This is the fourth sign. Some soul connections are destined, but not always forever. They come when you're ready to grow, not when you're desperate to be saved. If you're still chasing validation or begging for love to escape your own pain, the universe won't send a soulmate. It'll send a lesson. Someone who reflects your chaos back to you. But when you start healing, when you stop running from yourself and start embracing your own peace, that's when the universe responds with alignment. This person doesn't arrive to complete you. They arrive to walk beside the version of you that's finally whole. And sometimes, their greatest gift is the pain of their absence, because it teaches you how to stand on your own. So, how do you honor these connections, even when they end? First, don't cling to what's meant to leave. Letting go doesn't mean you failed. It means the soul contract is complete. Reflect on what they taught you. Did they show you your strength, your capacity to love, your need to heal? Second, practice gratitude. Write a letter to them, even if you never send it, thanking them for the role they played in your growth. And finally, trust the universe's timing. Not every encounter is meant to last, but every encounter is meant to matter. This person might not be your forever, but they were your teacher. And that's just as sacred. Here's a question for you. Has someone ever come into your life, changed you deeply, and then left? What did their departure teach you about yourself? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how the universe guided you. Let's wrap this up with a conclusion that ties it all together. So, what have we uncovered? The universe doesn't send random people into your life. It sends messengers through quiet whispers, area synchronicities, mirrors of your deepest self, and even the pain that awakens you. It's guiding you toward a truth you've always known, but maybe haven't been ready to hear. Every soul you meet is here to bring you closer to you. Carl Jung's philosophy reminds us that these connections, whether they last a lifetime or just a season, are never coincidences. They're cosmic invitations to grow, to heal, to evolve into the truest version of yourself. The next time you feel a spark that stops you in your tracks, a moment of stillness, a perfectly timed coincidence, or a connection that shakes your soul, don't ignore it. Pause it. Listen. Ask yourself, what is the universe trying to show me? Is this person here to teach me strength, to mirror my wounds, or to remind me of my worth? Because when the universe speaks, it's not shouting, it's whispering through energy, through timing, through people. And those whispers are meant for the version of you that's ready to hear them. Now, I want to hear from you. Has the universe ever sent someone into your life who changed everything? Maybe they stayed. Maybe they left. But their presence left fingerprints on your soul that you can still feel today. Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And I'd love to connect with you through your experience. If this video touched something deep inside you, if it made you pause, reflect, or feel seen, don't let this moment end here. Hit that like button, subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub, and tap the bell so you never miss a message from the universe. And if you know someone who believes in cosmic signs, maybe a friend who's felt this kind of connection, share this video with them. Let's keep this journey going together, because the universe is always speaking. The question is, are you ready to listen?